It seems to be.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Treasure Roberts. You've been watching Governor J.B. Pritzker's daily update on COVID-19. Here are today's numbers from the Illinois Department of Public Health. Now, there were 2,724 new cases today. Dr. Ngozi Ezike with IDPH says that is the largest 24-hour increase seen to date. She says this is also because of increased testing. Now, there were 108 new deaths, 39,658 total cases of COVID-19 and a total of 1,795 deaths. Now, Governor J.B. Pritzker says today testing is the key to everything. He says more people are getting tested. Now the ratio is lower of positive tests, which he says is a good sign. He also says we've surpassed the 10,000 mark for testing, which he says is a great step. And he also anticipates pushing that number higher in the coming weeks. He also talked about antibody testing, which offers potential for more security, which is what he said. He says tests aren't where he wants them to be right now and may not indicate 100% of immunity. So he says right now he's looking for them to be more accurate and more reliable before he deploys them into the communities. He also says that some hospitals, however, are using the antibody tests. If you want more information on the briefing, you can head on over to ciproud.com. Well, $500 billion in stimulus money may soon be available. Relief for small businesses, hospitals, and funding for coronavirus testing. Skylar Henry tells us why President Donald Trump says this will be a catalyst for recovery from damage done by COVID-19.
President Trump is expected to sign a nearly $500 billion stimulus package, most of which will help small businesses.
This bill will help small businesses to keep millions of workers on the payroll. You see, states are starting to open up now, and it's very exciting to see. I think it's very awe-inspiring.
The House passed the bill with overwhelming bipartisan support Thursday.
The bill is passed.
The House also voted along party lines to establish a new oversight committee to monitor how the government is spending the money.
This is not an anti-Trump or anti-administration thing. This is simply to say we have to have proper accountability when we're spending a huge amount of money very quickly.
Debate has already started about another stimulus package to get money to state and local governments, and there are signs it'll be a partisan fight.
If we can help states, we're always going to help states. Now, there's different ways of helping states. Some ways are better than others. So we're looking. It is interesting that the states that are in trouble do happen to be blue.
Closed businesses have cost states billions of dollars in sales tax, and President Trump says the federal guidelines for social distancing may go beyond May 1st.
Until we feel it's safe, we're going to be extending.
Thursday, White House briefers discussed early study results showing summer sun may help in the fight.
Our most striking observation to date is the powerful effect that solar light appears to have on killing the virus, both surfaces and in the air.
And President Trump floated other ideas to look into for killing the virus.
I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning?
Doctors are warning against injecting or ingesting disinfectants because they are highly toxic.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, says nationally we're not where we need to be right now to even consider reopening. President Trump, however, disagrees.
No, I don't agree with him on that. No, I think we're doing a great job on testing. I don't agree. If he said that, I don't agree with him.
According to the CDC, 97 public health laboratories nationwide are verified and offering testing at this time. Well, back at home, soldiers with the 1,644th Transportation Company based in Rock Falls and the 709th Area Support Medical Company based in Peoria are preparing to assist with COVID-19 testing at an outlet mall in Aurora, Illinois. This is in support of the state's pandemic response. And essential gatherings limited to groups of 10 or less affecting everyone, even those planning funerals for families. Sheree Honeycutt tells us how funeral directors are navigating the new normal.
First responders are on the front lines of the pandemic. However, last responders are right there as well.
It is very hard to say goodbye to your loved one and start the true process of grieving this way.
Nicole Giratana is a funeral director for Whitechapel in Gladstone. Tuesday, she made her way to Staten Island. She'll spend 2 weeks helping families make final arrangements.
The difference, it's going to be being thrown into something that no one's experienced. I know the funeral directors there are saying this is worse than 9/11. It's nothing like they've ever seen.
She says around 60 Whitechapel funeral directors from across the country are helping in rotations.
I'm happy to help out. It's part of a team at Whitechapel. We're a team there, and it's me going to help, another team. And in the broad spectrum, we're all on the same team with our first responders, our essential workers. We're all doing this together. So I've just taken my role out and going to help.
Giratana says families are able to live stream services or make arrangements in advance. She understands the work she does is important, but she knows she's not alone.
The outpouring of support is incredible. You can get emotional about it. So what I would encourage everyone to do is still support all your first responders, your healthcare workers, your essential workers, your fast food workers. Just keep supporting them because it really does help.
And COVID-19 antibody testing now available in Illinois. The tests are being provided in Lincoln Park, Chicago. Healthcare workers say the test is available to anyone who hasn't had COVID-19 symptoms in the last 14 days. This is how it works. Doctors draw your blood and look for antibodies, indicating you've already had the virus. Medical experts say in theory, you wouldn't get infected again. The results, if accurate, could play an important role in stopping the spread. Well, next Friday, everyone in Illinois will be required to wear a face mask in public spaces. But starting this Sunday, anyone riding Connect Transit in the Twin Cities must wear a mask before boarding a bus. Connect Transit is currently operating on a reduced schedule to keep employees and passengers safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. The number of passengers will also be limited to 10 to help ensure social distancing. Well, a slowdown but not a shutdown at meatpacking plants. The pandemic is impacting farmers' pricing for pork and beef, but ag experts say the supply is still there. Illinois has 3 pork processing plants and 2 beef processing plants. The manager of the Peoria County Farm Bureau says the state's plants took on work from out-of-state plants that were forced to shut down because of the virus outbreak.
In neighboring states came to our processing plants, which sort of created a bottleneck. Where do our Illinois farmers bring their animals? So some of them are having to hold on to their animals longer than what they normally would.
He says as long as processing plants stay open, there will still be plenty of meat in stores. And in a controversial move, Peoria County will no longer run a local nursing home. Last night, county board members voted unanimously 17-0 to close Headington Oaks. The facility will likely shut down by the end of the year. Many people, including Headington Oaks residents and their families, pleaded Thursday night to delay the vote until after the COVID-19 pandemic. But the county says it can no longer foot the bill, citing more than $2 million in losses yearly.
We all care for our loved ones and recognize how difficult it is to close a facility of this kind.
10 years ago, was it the right call to build this facility? Absolutely. It just changed. The market changed. And unfortunately, now we have to deal with it.
The county says it will help residents relocate. And while the closure is final, voters still must give the board permission to sell the property. Well, the Washington Chamber of Commerce is canceling Good Neighbor Days. The annual festival was set to be held on May 27th through the 31st. Coordinators are working on making part of the festival, however, virtual or rescheduling events for a later date. Now is the time for communities to be coming together and helping each other. Coming up, I'll tell you how technology is making that easier.
A way through it. It's about taking care of each other. It's the small parts that make a big difference. At Chevy, we promise to do ours. We're offering current Chevy owners OnStar Crisis Assist services and complimentary Wi-Fi data. To help keep you on the road, the Chevy Certified Service Experts are here and ready to help if you require parts, maintenance, or repairs. You can also still shop and schedule your service appointment online. It's just our way of doing our part.
Funerals can be emotionally devastating for a family to go through. Besides the sorrow, loved ones are left with the high cost of arranging a funeral. Funeral Advantage was formed to help protect your family when they need it most. It pays $5, leaving your loved ones to pay the rest.
It's so easy. Just answer a few simple health questions. This is so affordable, even for someone like me who's on a fixed income.
If you're 40 to 85, get information on how to protect your family. Funeral Advantage is something we all need. There's no risk or obligation. Call now.
Please call 800-586-3920. That is 800-586-3920.
Find local, shop local, get local on CIProud.com.
We've been bringing you great music for 123 years, Peoria, and we'll be there when this is all over.
In times of trouble like this, we need to stick together.
Together, we are stronger.
We've been here for the last 20 years and continue taking care of our customers' needs.
Shop local, and remember, we're all in this together.
We appreciate you and we care about you. Alone we're strong, but together we're stronger.
Stay safe, stay healthy, and wash your hands.
The Storm Tracker Network, brought to you by Linco Precision Ag Technology Solutions. Now, your local weather authority forecast from meteorologist Molly Maislin.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're seeing clouds and a little bit of rain over the Peoria area on our Paradise camera. Today's highs, despite the rainfall, will top off in the mid to upper 60s. A few areas could see just a bit of sunshine this afternoon, bumping up those highs just a bit, but we have got a lot of rain on the way as we move into the afternoon. We'll start off with a few thunderstorms that will gradually become widespread rainfall as we go overnight and into Saturday morning. Saturday morning, we're seeing large patches of some of this moderate to heavy rainfall early in the morning. Things will start to taper off slightly as we go throughout the day, but really we're going to be sticking with this widespread rain on and off throughout Saturday. It's going to be a very wet weekend. For this afternoon, what we're seeing first is this low pressure system passing through the area, bringing in some of those spottier showers and that thunderstorm potential. But as far as our rain totals go, things are going to increase quite a bit as we go into Saturday, especially because of the long-lasting rainfall. As you can see overnight, we see many areas get just over an inch of rain, and that's early Saturday morning. As we get into the rest of the day, we're seeing areas top off over 2 inches. A lot of rainfall is expected, so you might want to be careful if you are along some of those low-lying areas or along rivers. We are likely to see some patchy areas of flooding. For tomorrow, what we're seeing is this slow-moving low, bringing heavy and long-lasting rain to the area. And I'll show you here on our future track kind of what this system actually does as we go throughout the rest of the day. So first off, tonight, it starts to move northeast like we would normally see a system move, but it actually backtracks temporarily before finally moving through the southern end of the state. And this is why we're really seeing this long-lasting rain. It's going to continue to move through and not really taper off until we get into Sunday early morning. Then Sunday, the good news is we do bring the sunshine back into the area. It'll be long-lasting, an entire day of sun. The only downside is as we get into Monday, we have another round of showers moving back into the area as we get into your afternoon and mid-afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures tonight don't fall too far, mainly because of the amount of cloud cover we'll be seeing. We're down in the low 50s and upper 40s overnight tonight, and then conditions will begin to warm again as we get into Saturday, but Saturday we're staying a little bit cooler, topping off in the mid-50s as opposed to the mid-60s. So we're staying a little bit cooler as we get into Saturday, even with all of that rain. Overnight tonight, we do fall into the upper 40s, about a half to 3/4 of an inch of rain possible overnight, and even more as we head into early tomorrow morning. Another half an inch to 3/4 of an inch possible on top of what we're going to be seeing tonight. We're in the mid to upper 50s though as we get into tomorrow, so we're not going to be quite as warm. And the rain will finally wrap up as we get into early Sunday. The sunshine does return to the area, though, and as we get into next week, rain and even some thunderstorms returns to the area.
Kids across the state are staying home, but are they staying busy? Coming up, I'll tell you how parents are finding ways to keep them occupied.
The NYPD takes care of its own. Whatever it takes.
On New Blue Bloods, tonight 10/9 Central on CBS.
We're federal agents investigating a matter of national security.
Execute. We all have a little gangster in us, huh? That's a good time.
A new NCIS Los Angeles, Sunday at 10/9 Central on CBS.
Are you having trouble hearing? Come see why Sounds Good Hearing Aids is the preferred choice for your hearing needs.
The price had just escalated. I wasn't going to be able to afford them, and I didn't know what to do. So then I met Mike, and he found out that my insurance would pay 3/4 of the price for new hearing aids, which made them affordable again.
We'll focus on your hearing and what works best for you.
Better prices, better service, better hearing.
Peoria Pizza Works is open with the best pizza, pasta, and sandwiches. We'd like to thank you, our loyal customers, for your support during this time. If you haven't tried us, give us a call. We're open 7 days a week for carry-out or delivery from your favorite service. Peoria Pizza Works.
We are the strong ones, stronger together. This is a time for rising up.
I think we can all agree the last few weeks have been a roller coaster. Our lives been turned completely upside down. But through it all, we're stepping up to the plate, learning the true power of prayer, solidarity, love, strength, and even empathy. Central Illinois is working together and helping each other like never before. Yes, we're vulnerable, but we're stronger together. And it's with that strength that we will prevail. And WMBD News will continue to bring you local coverage of the battle against COVID-19 and the stories that make us Central Illinois proud.
Stronger, stronger together. We rise up in a time of need.
When we work together, we are stronger than our fear. We will get through this together.
Join the Pediatric Resource Center as they move with the mission for the 8th annual Kick Abuse 5K Run and Fun Walk. All proceeds of this virtual event benefit the Pediatric Resource Center's child-friendly medical services for abused and neglected children of Central Illinois.
Coronavirus, fact versus fiction. Continuing coverage on WMBD and the free CI Proud to Go mobile app. You're watching WMBD News at 3.
Parents across the state are being challenged with keeping kids busy and learning while schools and activities remain closed. One app allows parents to incentivize their kids to keep up with chores and learn how to save money.
Using technology to get kids off the couch while stuck at home during this pandemic, an idea now guiding Crystal Jones and her husband Marcel. They say the idea has been a lifesaver, and they credit this app, Busy Kid, with helping their children stay on task. They've now hired Jelani, Elijah, and Marcel through Busy Kid to complete household chores.
To clean the kitchen, to clean, the main areas, to vacuum, doing their laundry and folding their laundry.
Busy Kid founder and CEO Greg Merced, a dad of 6 and financial planner of 20 years, says it's all about taking a balanced financial approach, giving children a solid financial foundation about saving, sharing, and spending.
If you get that into your kid early on, it sticks.
Once parents load the free app, Busy Kid tracks completed chores. It also devises a plan with parents to decide what percentage their children will save and invest, what they share, and what they can spend.
And then on Thursday, we're going to send you a message that says, tomorrow, it's Friday, it's payday, okay? Do you want to approve the payday? And once you do that, we're going to pull the money from your bank account into our system. We're allowing them to invest in fractional shares of stock in the save area. We give them charities to donate to, and then we give them a Visa card to transfer their money onto to go spend like the rest of us.
So now they get that concept that You work, you earn, and that's how you get money on the card to get the things that you want.
To Mom, it's a win-win for everyone.
They're interested in learning about how they can make their money grow. My daughter already wants to start a retirement. Yeah. So they're trying to find ways to grow their money. And so in this climate, when we're all home, it's the perfect time to learn more about that.
Well, that's great. I sure do wish my parents paid me to do chores, but that surely did not happen. So Facebook is expanding its Messenger Kids. The social media platform is adding new features, making it easier for kids to connect with their friends. Among the new feature is supervised friending. Parents have the option to give kids control over their friend requests, but parents get notifications and can override any approvals. They can also let an adult, such as a teacher, coach, or another caretaker, manage their kids' group chats. They'll be able to make the kids' names and profile photos visible to certain people. Well, how one nurse sacrificed a special moment in his life to continue to be on the front lines of the pandemic.
At home with Daddy T. Daddy?
Yes?
I'm very bored.
Are you? How come? Because we're stuck inside?
Can I go here?
No.
Wait, can I go here?
Sorry. By social distancing, we can reduce the number of people infected
In the whole world?
in the whole world.
Do your part.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we have great prices every day. So during our big spring sale, you know the savings will be huge. Start your spring projects with 20% off Valspar True Basics paint. Clean things up with this Simpson pressure washer, $274.99. Save big on Morton Clean and Protect water softener pellets, just $4.99. Plus, buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru.
What's the one thing that you miss the most about staying home all the time right now?
Easter seals.
Easter seals.
Can you wave? You're part, but not alone.
Now would be the perfect time to spread love, not a virus.
Coronavirus, fact versus fiction. Continuing coverage on WMBD and the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.
Are you nervous about leaving your parents' phone plan?
You got this.
You could have
It's just a plan. Nope.
individual plan phobia.
Plan phobia? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're back.
Switch to your own plan at US Cellular and get $400 back.
Plan phobia? They got you back.
Switch and get $400 back. Only at US Cellular. Choose fair.
You asked, we listened. The all-new CI Proud to Go weather app. Everything you need to know about weather, and it's easy to use. Central Illinois' fastest live Viper radar. Swipe for current weather conditions, with forecasts set for your home and your favorite locations. And because your safety matters to us, you'll know when severe weather is approaching with our exclusive alerts customized to your exact location. The only weather app you need for vital local weather information 24/7. CI Proud to Go weather. Upgrade right now for free. You're watching WMBD News at 3.
All around the world, people are making sacrifices to help make sure our loved ones, our friends, and our family aren't victims of COVID-19. Jack Watson brings us the story of one nurse at Strong Hospital sacrificing some of life's greatest moments to treat patients with the virus.
Healthcare professionals are already sacrificing so much right now, but one nurse working here at Strong Hospital is giving up even more to protect his family from COVID-19. JT Rice is going to be a dad, something he smiles about, even in the face of what he sees every day.
It's kind of crazy that it's all happening now during all of this, but it'll make for a great story one day for our kid.
But JT hasn't been able to join wife Taylor for some of those milestones along the way.
You know, like missing out on things like her being able to feel the baby move on the outside for the first time. She was able to start feeling that the other day, and you know, I can't be in there to feel that. with her. So it's, it's emotional for the both of us, but we're trying to make the best of it.
JT is living in this camper, donated by his mom and dad, to protect Taylor from COVID-19. That's because he's a registered nurse at Strong Hospital, moved from his post in pediatric intensive care to treating COVID-19 patients. JT's living right here, but his wife and child-to-be are over here. In his own words, they're so close but so far apart. Inside the home, his pregnant wife Taylor working from home, but she understandably misses her other half.
This is something that couples should experience together, and unfortunately we aren't able to right now. So it's been pretty difficult, but we're definitely getting through it, and hopefully he'll be able to come back inside soon.
A tough situation for a soon-to-be mom and dad, but
I signed up to be a nurse. I signed up to help people and make a difference.
He signed up to be a dad that his child will want to be like.
Wow, great story. We are so thankful for our continued work from our healthcare providers and workers. Well, Walmart is teaming up with the Nextdoor app, making it easier for neighbors to help each other. They're launching a program called Neighbors Helping Neighbors. Members of Nextdoor app can now request assistance or offer to help someone in their community with shopping at their local Walmart. Members can coordinate pickup and delivery of groceries, medications, or other essential items. The service will be available nationwide starting Friday. Well, don't go anywhere. Molly will be back with a check of your forecast.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's a 25-cent fuel saver this Friday and Saturday. Only at Hy-Vee.
During these times, unity and compassion will prevail.
No matter the distance between us, we will always stand together.
These are difficult times for everyone.
But remember, together we're stronger.
We're all doing the right thing, and it'll be okay.
Stay well, be well, support one another, and do well. And we hope to see you soon.
We will get through this, and we'll be stronger together on the other side.
God bless small businesses, God bless Central Illinois,
and God bless America.
So this is just our way of saying, we're here, we love you, we can't wait to see you soon.
Just to be able to feed your family, I would hate to think of somebody's kid at home not able to eat.
Nice to know that people are caring, trying to help, and we hope that everyone's doing okay.
I still think it's great that we're able to, is able to come out and see and celebrate with the folks inside and just with us for a little bit.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's a 25-cent fuel saver this Friday and Saturday. Only at Hy-Vee.
You're watching WMBD News at 3.
Rain is on the way for tonight, and as we move into tomorrow, Sunday, we're expected to see lots of sunshine. But as we move into next week, although our temperatures do increase, the rain and thunderstorm chances return to the area.
Well, horizons expanding for a penguin in Oregon despite the stay-at-home orders across the U.S. Nacho, a Humboldt penguin at the Oregon Zoo, went to visit the otters this week. The visit is part of the zoo's ongoing effort to make sure the animals get exercise while the zoo is closed to help stop the spread of COVID-19. That is adorable. And look at the otter. Look at the penguins. Penguins, they look cute and they look cuddly, but let me tell you, I met some penguins in South Africa, and they're a little snappy. I just tried to reach down and pet it, and it almost bit my finger off, but it's okay because I still have all 10. And also, I did tell the producers I wish that we saw that, the other day, because I have a black and white dress and I look just like a penguin, and I could have Did a little of that. But you can find more information and resources on the COVID-19 pandemic on our website, ciproud.com, and click on the coronavirus tab. Thanks for joining us today. The Peoria City Health Department is about to give its briefing. You can watch that live right now on our sister station at WYZZ. Have a good weekend.